The lawmakers dubbed Tennessee 3 are set to meet with President Biden at the White House just this afternoon.
It's a conversation we are told will focus on how to move gun reform legislation forward. The Democratic representatives, Gloria Johnson, Justin Jones, and Justin Pearson, these are members of the legislature there in Tennessee. They faced expulsion by votes in that state legislature after joining a group of protesters at the state capitol following a mass shooting at a school in Nashville. Jones and Pearson were ousted from their roles, later reinstated under the local rules there with local council votes. Johnson survived expulsion by a single vote.
And Representative Johnson joins us now. Thanks for joining us. It's good to see you. We know that you're meeting with the president. He has had very limited success addressing any meaningful gun reform. He has said that he has gone as far as he can. Tell us, with that being said, what do you hope to achieve from this meeting? Is there anything that you're hopeful can come from it to move some form of reform forward?
Absolutely. We're very hopeful, maybe for one of the first times, and really feeling like there's momentum and energy behind this movement. And we appreciate so much the support of the vice president and the support of the president. And we plan to talk to him today, what we can do at the state level, maybe what kind of support the federal government can give us, and also talking moving forward on the federal level as well. I think that we have never seen so much support in Tennessee for actually taking action against gun violence. And in my district, which is Deep Red, Knox County in East Tennessee, I did a poll last year that showed overwhelming support from Republicans, independents, and Democrats on red flag laws.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
So the will of the people is there.
I was very curious because that failed last year. And when the shooting happened, I was surprised to read that a red flag law had failed last year in Tennessee, which this is kind of that perfect scenario where you think, oh, this may have worked had the parents known. This is a policy that you think you have more support and that may pass at the state level?
Well, that's what we're hoping. I brought that red flag legislation the last two sessions as well, along with some state safe storage legislation. And now, currently, our governor is asking for a red flag law.
Yeah.
The House hasn't really come on board yet, but they're talking about a special session in May, just a conversation about gun legislation. So I have hope with the students. The parents are so active. Just last Tuesday, formed a human chain 3 miles long from Vanderbilt Hospital to the legislature with 9,000 people. And thousands have been showing up almost every day at the Capitol. I don't think this movement's going to slow down. There's energy, and people in Tennessee want action on gun violence.
Representative Johnson, given that you have this potential special session coming up, how would you characterize the opposition from your colleagues on the Republican side of the aisle when you talk to them about red flag laws or safe storage laws or other efforts that might limit guns in the hands of people who seek to do harm? Do they oppose it because they think more guns equals more safety, which is a perspective held by many conservatives, or do they think that it would be an infringement on rights? In other words, do they think it would detract from safety or infringe on rights, or both?
It's actually both of those things, and it depends on who you talk to. Currently, we've got 99 members in the House. We've only got 24 Democrats and 75 Republicans. But what it's going to take is 26 Republicans and 24 Democrats who can say, you know what, we support this. And I know that there are likely 26 Republicans that would support some gun sentence legislation. The trick is, will they have the political courage to do what's right? They get threatened a lot by the NRA, the Tennessee Firearms Association, fund their campaigns, and they talk about, those folks tell them they're going to be on their naughty list if they support any type of legislation. But what it's going to take is some political courage for some of my colleagues across the aisle that I know it's the right thing to do. They're just scared to make that vote. And I think that the students and the parents and all these groups rising up and showing up, the clergy, all rising up and showing up, I have hope that maybe we can get something done that actually has teeth.
And clear communication with constituents, too, so that they are representing the will of the people.
Yes.
All right, Gloria Johnson representing the area around Knoxville, state representative there, and also a retired special education teacher, as my mother happens to be. So thank you for that service as well.
Absolutely. Thank you all for having me on.